Some of you may know this, but between 2015 to 2016 was probably the worst time of my entire life. And I don't like to talk about the details much, but I remember at that point wondering like, why did this happen to me? My entire life before that was, I wouldn't say the best, but it was pretty decent. I was a good student, I performed well in school, I was active in sports, all was going good. But suddenly I was at this point which I never thought that I would be the one to be facing this kind of thing. And around mid 2016, when I moved to a different state for college, is when I started healing a bit emotionally. And so I just worked on making myself better and stronger over the next 2 years. And around 2018, when I felt like I had become stronger emotionally and I was in a really good headspace, is when I decided to start executing and started my first business, which turned out to be a huge success. And I was able to support myself, my lifestyle, and then after that it's all been uphill from there. But just looking back on the time when I was at that all-time low and that 4 years that it took me to come, like there was one thing that I consistently did after 2016 which honestly helped me improve and become better. Now I'm not saying that this is the only thing that worked to my favor, but this was definitely one of the influential factors that helped in a big way. One of the things that I did in 2018 that completely changed my life was adopt this cute puppy. Right now she's sleeping on my bed over there while I record this video. And the reason I say that she's changed my life is, yes, definitely in the direct sense, she has changed my life. She has made me a better person. But in the indirect sense, there was something that I had to do for her, which indirectly I ended up doing for myself. So when I used to go to college and I used to train for football and everything, I used to be out of the house for a lot of the time of the day. And she used to get very restless and she used to start and making noise and crying all day. So what I started doing is I started getting up early so that I could take her for about 1 hour walk or a 30 minutes run, so that she would be tired and rest for the rest of the day until I came back. And when I used to do this, one thing I started doing is I started listening to Gary Vee and the ALUX podcast. And this honestly changed my life, because these two podcasts not only taught me how to start a business, how to manage a business, how to manage my emotional self, but they also motivated me to keep pushing forward and keep trying and doing things, even if I fail, even if I face rejection. Learn from those experiences and keep moving forward. And I'm sure many of you have heard or read this quote that you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. And in today's world, that is absolutely true. But in a way, it's not also true. Let me just show you something here. You see, we end up spending about 4.5 hours a day on our phones, and not even including the time we spend on our computer. So essentially we're spending third of our day on our devices, and that has just kept increasing and increasing after the pandemic. And while that quote does hold validity, it also needs to be changed a little bit. It's not only about the 5 people you spend the most time with, but about the content you consume. Is the content that you're consuming helping you become a better person? Is it helping you work towards your dream? Is it helping you feel good? For example, when you're in a bad or a sad state of mind and you listen to some really depressing and sad but good music, like that music actually makes you feel the emotions and makes you aware. And that's because you're the same frequency. The music that you're listening to and your mental state is at the same frequency. In the same way, you cannot be in a good or positive state of mind if you're continuing to consume negative content. Like for years before my all-time low, I used to listen to depressing music to the point where I was at an all-time low. It was only after I changed the content that I was consuming that my mindset was able to progress and move forward, because it was being surrounded by positivity. When you surround yourself with that type of content, you end up creating a bubble around yourself of positivity, of knowledge. So yeah, it is important to surround yourself with the people that give you positivity and that bring out the best in you. But in today's world, with social media and our devices consuming so much of our life, it is very important that we consume positive content in order to help shape our mindset and in order to help us progress and achieve our goals. And if this channel helps bringing you positivity, makes you feel better and helps improving yourself, then do consider subscribing, because that helps me out a lot. But in general, general, just subscribe and consume content that honestly uplifts you and not content that degrades you. That's it for today's video. I'll see you all in the next one. Peace.